Hello again, it's Glenn Walford here from the Franchise Everything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything in franchising. And once again today, I'm at the Kwik Kopy headquarters in Sydney, and I'm joined today by Kervin Merchant, who is a franchise owner of Kwik Kopy in Blacktown. Thank you for joining us, Kervin.
Thank you for having me
Good
here,
to
Glenn.
see you, mate. Good
likewise,
to see you.
likewise. Thank you.
Well, it was great to meet you when you come in. Thank you for making the journey in.
Pleasure.
So you are, now we've got something to announce here. They told me just before we started here that you're going to be announced next year. It's almost like we're announcing it here on the podcast in the Centurion Club, which is the Millionaires Club, Millionaire Turnover Club in Kwik Kopy in Fiji at your conference, I gather. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Well, obviously, we know as a team at Blacktown that we did $1 million revenue last year. So very fortunate to be doing that. And as they say, I guess in cricket, I mean, captain is as good as the team. And I genuinely feel that I have a very, very good team that backs me up every day. So thanks for that. Yeah,
Lovely,
very
mate.
fortunate.
Lovely, mate. A humble person, obviously. Straight support to the team, so that's fantastic. Yeah, so they mentioned it to me in the office as we got here, and I'll confirm with them that we can actually say that. So, mate, yeah, no, very, very happy to hear that for you. So well done.
Thank you so much.
So you've been in the business 5 years. 5 years now. You've been telling me. So what's it been like? What's it been like in your own Kwik Kopy?
It's amazing, actually, and as we went through, or as an owner, as a new owner, I went through the initial steep learning curve. I guess it takes 6 months or 12 months time to sort of learn and settle down, and then we were hit by pandemic, so 2 or 3 years of pandemic has also passed, and I think we've been out of COVID, and business has sort of stabilized after that. So experience has been very positive. Like I mentioned earlier, I think it does make a difference when you have a very, very good and settled team, and I can fortunately say that we have that. So plus the whole, I think the whole setup of Kwik Kopy, the head office, owners group, the support group, overall it's been extremely positive. Yeah.
Excellent. I think and I'm glad I met you today, and we always had a little bit of a debrief chat or a briefing chat before we jump on and do a podcast. And I found some things out about you. I think a really interesting and diverse career or path before you got into Kwik Kopy. So we've spoken to a couple of people already at Kwik Kopy who have really from a printing background, many of them, but certainly not you. So you came to Australia, you were telling me, in 2004 to study IT. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about how you found yourself in Australia.
Yeah, so I did my bachelor's in India in IT. I guess IT in India, that's not a surprise there. And and why I chose Australia over US or UK or Canada, I don't know, but a lot of friends.
You can't remember why specifically?
Yeah, but a lot of friends from that bachelor's graduation did go to Australia. So
Okay.
I guess you just sort of
Just you went with the crowd.
went with the crowd, exactly. So came here, and I found that was a very good decision. So love it here in Australia as well. So did my master's. That was 2 years, and after that, once I got my residency and citizenship, and I was working in IT as well in Cisco Systems, which is based here in North Sydney as well.
So what particular field in IT were you in? What sort of stuff were you doing?
I'm from networking, like networking, IP telephones, hardware, systems, that area of IT. Not a software, but hardware side.
Okay. Now, we'll leave the IT stuff there because what you told me about very briefly, because I only get a little taste of it before we start talking. I don't want to know too much. You took a full-on different turn straight out of IT. So what was the next part of your business journey?
Yeah, so I mean, I was working in Cisco Systems, and an opportunity came to move to US. So me and my wife, we had been married recently at that time, only like year and a half old, and something came along, and we just decided why not.
So you moved to the United States,
yeah, so we
and
moved
whereabouts?
so New Jersey.
Yeah.
And over there, I ended up buying a hotel over there, and we ran that for 4 years.
So you went over there for the hotel, is that right?
No,
You saw
so I
the-
went for an IT course. I mean, IT job, not course.
Okay.
And then
So you went over for IT, and then
again,
another diversion.
I guess we sort of do our due diligence, but always say yes to something interesting comes along. So an opportunity came to get into that was my first business, and it felt right. So we did that, and we did okay in that too. And our son actually is born in US. So when he was born and he was growing up, as he was growing up, we felt, I guess, we want to raise him in Australia. So we sold that business and came back here. And I was looking for, when I came back, obviously I wanted to continue into business. I mean, I like it. It's stressful, it's not easy, but I enjoy that challenge. So when I came back, I started looking for lots of this different business that fits my strength, and my skill set. And I guess
Here you are.
looked
You
at
find yourself here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just before we go on to that, you and your wife must be interesting people in that you decided to move to the US. I mean, interesting as far as your outlook on life goes and everything, and risk taking and just jumping all in decision. So you were moving to the US for something different, to do an IT course, and ended up while you're over there buying a hotel instead and running that for 4 years.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So what is your thinking around that? What's your approach? Is it an approach to life
No, I
or
think, I mean, traditionally I do come from a business family.
yeah?
So my grandfather was a businessman until he retired. My father was a businessman until he retired. So there's always this urge or incline to always have my own business as well if something suitable comes along. And that happened over there in US. I was doing an IT job, and uh,
Mm,
talking to friends and family. Somebody was offered an opportunity to buy, went into partnership with someone else, but
yes.
we were part owner and working owners, and actually really enjoyed it. It was first time. I
Mm.
think whenever you do something for the first time, the learning curve is very, very steep. So it was extremely stressful in the initial years, but started enjoying it. That's why when I sold and came back, I just wanted to continue doing a business.
So what was the steepest learning curve about running a hotel?
I think hotel is 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was more concerned about how will I learn the systems and manage customers or
Mm.
this and that. But I think the 24/7, 365 non-stop, that was, I found that to be the most,
Was always there, was
always
it?
there, always there. You don't have weekends off or public
Yeah.
holidays off. If anything, weekend and public holidays, it's a peak time or busy time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just had enough of that sort of thing, or was that
Yeah,
part of
no,
it?
no, yeah. So that was new because my previous job I was doing Monday to Friday, so the work-life balance was better, but I enjoyed that much more than just Monday to Friday. So yeah,
So you wanted to raise your child back here in Australia,
correct.
and you decided to come back there. So did you have any preconceived ideas about the business you wanted when you came here, or were you fairly broad and open?
Fairly broad and open. I think in if you want to buy a business, the number one criteria always is the budget.
How much
I
you got
get
to spend for that? Yep.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a set amount. We really couldn't extend beyond that. So I started looking for businesses in that range.
So you were a price range person, because
Yes,
it's
yes,
interesting. I find it very interesting speaking to people who invest in franchises. Their rationale. Some just say, "I want this brand, I want that, or I don't want to do this, or I want to do that," and
right.
then multiple brands. But you had a price range and you were open across the board.
Right, right. And I think even in franchise like Quick Copy, probably head office have better numbers, but you could have store extremely expensive, but that supports the numbers, and
Yes.
then you can have mid range and sort of entry level. So
Yeah.
I could only buy what I could afford. So yeah.
So what was your criteria? What were you looking at amongst there? Was there certain things you didn't want to do, or how was
So
it?
I mean, if I could, I wanted a Monday to Friday or better work life balance and not 24/7, 365. So hotels, although I had a very good experience, I wasn't really looking forward to do that as I was raising my son, or we both were raising our young family. So I was looking for other things where I can give you an example. For example, your cafes or industrial area cafes or Domino's, at least they shut down at nighttime. So unlike hotels. So
Except if you're a Domino's.
but
Yeah.
so that's an example. So sticking to a bit better work life balance in the budget that we
Yeah.
had, and something that I felt or connected. I mean, when I saw first Quick Copy, when I eventually when I bought Blacktown, I had looked at 2 3.
You looked at two or three quick
Yeah, yeah,
copy
yeah,
premises.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So just the first instance, I felt that I could do this business, and the biggest thing is the whole approach from head office. It fit in my budget. My interaction with head office, early interaction, felt extremely positive. Uh, it offered great work-life balance Monday to Friday, so that was a big positive with a very young child. And like I said, in the end, you do your due diligence financially, and if it makes sense, then you buy it, and that's exactly what we did.
So I'm interested. Did other types of businesses catch your eye as well, and you seriously consider other types of
Yeah, so
businesses?
in that price range, yes, did, but I have found, and I guess I have a benefit of hindsight here as well, that for the investment that I made in Kwik Kopy, Blacktown specifically, I think I would have to invest way more in other business, probably to get similar returns.
Okay.
So I found Kwik Kopy to be very financially sound business decision as well.
And that the Blacktown business you bought then was a going concern. It was an established
Going
business,
concern,
wasn't it?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
And it was how was it performing? Was it on the market very recently, or how was it
I
going?
mean, that part I would not know, but
Yep.
I do know that it was there for at least few months, or maybe I don't know, three,
Yep.
4 months. And when the agent or the seller's agent, who I was on file with,
Mm,
let me know that this business is for sale.
fate.
So, so
Yeah.
yeah,
So, what was the process like about inquiring and going through the business? Can you tell me what how that was?
yeah, of course. So when the first information came through, the and I think I have to then I'm put in touch with head office where I have to fill out my details, of course.
Yes.
And then I meet the at that time the franchise officer Benoit. So I met him, and it was a just knowing, I think Quick Copy puts a lot of emphasis on, okay, we get you want to buy the business, but whether you're fit for to own a Quick Copy franchise or print
Yeah.
franchise. So there is a
Is a culture fit or
culture
something?
fit,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we both connected then and there, and from there, once that you proceed further with that, then obviously you make your inquiries about business and you ask for more documentation and things like that, which
Stuff as part of your due
due
diligence.
diligence,
Yeah.
and then which your accountant checks, etc. And if sorry,
That's all right.
I did
That's all
look
right.
obviously few businesses,
Yeah.
and this one made sense, so I went further. And then you do your make your offer, and it's accepted, and that's where the real things happen, the legal side. And once everything's finalized and I guess money's paid, then there's a very extensive 1 month training at the head office.
Yeah.
Because
How did you find the training?
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Mr. John Post, or Posty as he was always fondly known, conducted that training with help from other staff as well, respective staff, for their expertise. And amazing. I didn't know anything about printing, so
So I'm wondering about that. Your IT, networking, phone systems, and everything, hotel, and then you jump into printing. Were you daunted at all by the thought
yeah,
of learning stuff, or you
of
thought
course,
you'd better get your head
yes,
around it?
yes. But I guess, well, like I said, if my gut feeling says after all the due diligence that it is fine, then I guess we take plunge. And plus, in the hindsight again, it's immensely helped that I have a very good team. So the team that I have, it's still the same people who worked when I started, and they've been working there for like 10 plus years.
Wow.
So the
So they're pretty
continue,
much the same
yeah,
people.
same staff.
Yep.
So continuity of their knowledge, their experience, helped me immensely to settle down in first 6 months.
I'm hearing that quite a bit from the quick copy people I'm speaking to and other franchise partners. Consistency of people in the business long term, and even people who are employees in business buying businesses as
Yeah,
well. So
yeah, yeah.
that's got to be a good sign.
It's a great sign. I think the whole thing is, uh, like my our center manager. Her name is Gail Powell. She's been there for 34 years.
Wow.
So
34
34
years.
years, yeah. So we often think, I think she may be the longest serving employee outside owners or head office staff.
You'd think so.
So we have to find that out. But no, I think it tells positive experience about the Quick Copy as a brand. Like I said, the work life, from an owner's perspective, work life balance is there, which is a great thing. The secondly, the support from head office is amazing. I think my first point of contact is my ASM, or the area manager, who happens to be Lindsay at this moment. But every area manager that I've had, Lindsay before Victor, before Thais and Miss Sue Wade, they have been amazing. You always call them. If they can't answer, they immediately call you back. Any question, they are ready to answer and help find solutions. So I think when you combine the whole picture, that's why I think many owners also are there for a very very long time. It's a good overall great experience.
So as an owner, as a Quick Copy owner, when you contacting your area manager for assistance, what sort of assistance do you need as a Quick Copy? I imagine it changes over time, but what sort of stuff do you need? What sort of input do you need from them as you're
I
running your
think
business?
in initial
Yeah,
in initial month, as you can imagine, lots of print related questions.
yeah,
So where how to do this, or I think prints, like any business, prints changing.
mm,
And another good thing about Quick Copy is that they promote the new technologies, and happy to support you if you want to go into signage or labels or packaging or you name it.
mm.
So this is where my existing staff also do not have that experience, where I need support from someone else. That's where head office comes very very helpful. And being part of a big nationwide network, invariably they find the right solution or the right person. Oh yeah, check with him, and they can definitely help you, and it's helped us a lot.
So how was taking over the business? So you'd finished your training. What was it taking over? Obviously, you did it pretty well. You've got all your staff. You've pretty
Yeah,
much retained all the staff. So what was it like going in there and taking over the business from the previous owner?
daunting.
Yeah, yeah. What was it
Yeah,
daunting
I
about
mean,
it?
I still remember my first week. I mean, I did know from the 1 month of training the technical term, like SRA3s and GSMs and the paper,
Mm.
but still when you're talking to the customer and they're asking different questions. So I think the
So
first couple,
you've got to act like you know everything.
while not knowing much,
Yeah, yeah,
theory wise, yes,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not practically.
yeah. Of course.
So I think the learning curve is steep.
Hmm.
Dealing directly with the customer, and I'm the face of the business, I guess. Every owner is. So I think the first few weeks was like that, just learning jargon, what different things is, what different machines do, etc., how coding system work, ordering, emailing, follow up, etc. So the first few weeks, maybe a month or so, is the steepest learning curve. But once you sort of get used to that, then you're still learning. I still feel like I'm learning after 5 years. It's a very fast changing or fast paced industry.
Mm.
But in that time, I remember calling Sue Wade, who was my ASM at that time, John Posty, or John Post, Mr. John Post, who was the training manager, calling him a lot. And they were always just smiling and willing and always ready to help. It's not like you're bothering me, please. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll find you answers and then
Mm.
disappear. It never happened like that. So,
Excellent.
which reaffirms your decision that I made the right
Of
decision.
course, and it's very important,
Yeah,
especially if early on business owner might be a
exactly.
bit nervous.
No,
Yeah, of
yes,
course. So, what is your now you've got through all that? What's your day look like? What's your role in the business on a daily basis? Are you very operational, hands on, or you're business development, or you team manager? What do you see your role, and what do you do?
I think my role as an owner, or at least how our setup and our team is, I'm more like a sales manager,
Hmm.
or the customer manager. So we call it in our shop like front area and the back area. So front area is the where I and our center manager Gail Powell, that I mentioned, Gail, we sit, where we take the inquiries, emails, phones, walk-ins. I do a lot of deliveries as well, which has helped. That was something that was emphasized by Quick Copy,
Mm.
and now it makes sense. The more you see somebody, you make that, whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship, the more you meet a person, the relationship gets stronger.
Mm.
So I do a lot of my deliveries, which has helped me grow a lot of existing business, and make new customers. So
That actually stands out to me because every Quick Copy franchise owner I've spoken to now talks a lot about getting face to face
face to
with their
face,
customers, getting out there, getting right and face to face. And a task like delivering stuff
like
wouldn't be a general thing you would say that a
it's not
business owner would
pushy,
be,
or
the
it's very
franchise owner would be
subtle.
doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But the fact that it's really an engagement thing, isn't it? It's an engagement, community engagement thing with your customers.
I think, like you said, a lot of owners probably would say the same thing. Many of the jobs that just came to you because you were delivering something. Oh, by the way, you do this,
Yeah,
and then you always say yes, and then you find the answer later. That's
yeah.
where you contact your ASM.
Mm.
You you obviously can access other owners who are sort of expert in that particular area. But yeah, so I do a lot of deliveries as well. And production, I don't do any hands-on production. We have a very settled team over there.
Have you ever found the need to jump in and do that, or is it just not something
Just
you've
help where I need to.
okay
Yes, of course. I think every owner will have to at one point.
hands on?
So
Yeah.
hands on. So, but not on a daily basis. So I can actually focus on running the shop from the front and
Mm.
basically growing business where I'm more customer focused, and that's how our setup is.
Mm. So I know that you're obviously, as we said at the start, that you're now in the $1 million club with the business, the Centurions Club. So what do you put down as the reasons for your growth to get into that, to lift the business to the turnover that you've got it to now? What do you think are the main things that have made that happen?
I think I'll keep saying that, but the foundation is the team that we have.
Hmm.
You could have all the plans, but if you don't have team to execute them, then nothing's going to happen. So I'm very customer focused. So my job, or at least what I think, is that I want to grow existing clients, whatever extra opportunity that we can get from them, so grow them organically. And at the same time, any new inquiries come, so we attend to their quote request or emails, uh, call them, and happy to visit them, print some samples, but make that effort to go out and visit them, or at least have that conversation, and hopefully you win them. And I think, and you win enough
Mm.
new customers
It's all
while
about getting
keeping
face
the
to face.
existing customers happy and growing.
Mm.
I think things
Excellent.
good things happen.
Excellent. So what do you see the future? What does the future look like for you in your business planning? So have you got any big plans on the horizon, or you're consolidating what you've got now, or you're looking at a potentially a second location, or adding more staff to grow it? What are your plans for the future?
No, I mean, at this moment, I definitely want to at least make sure that I stay stable and grow from here. So
Hmm.
I'm not looking to buy a second at this moment. I feel like there is still opportunity for growth in this one, so I want to focus on that. Plus, our center manager Gail, after 35 years, is retiring next
Oh,
year in February.
wow.
So
That'll be a different
that
feel
will
to
be
the
a big
business.
change. I think it will
Yeah.
be a big change for, obviously, for me as an owner, but just for a team. Like I mentioned, it's a very settled team, so
Mm.
have to find new person and train the new person, and once they feel settled, so I think I
So
expect
you're looking at succession on that, or
we'll
how's
have
that
to.
looking?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she just made that announcement, actually, not a while ago. So
Mm.
this is again where head office comes very handy or helpful, where I can contact the HR manager here, and they help to look for the right person for the role that you're trying to fill in. So
I'd imagine, just a point on that, I'd imagine that because of the network size, in recruitment of that, there would be people who were similar positions
yeah,
across the country. Are you finding that?
yeah, no, so I this is the first time I'm
Yeah,
hiring,
of
so I
course.
haven't
Yep.
been to that process yet. But my understanding is that I'll call Lindsay, who is my ASM,
Mm.
who will put me touch to the HR person. They'll put the ad. Obviously, they'll be advertised internally as well. Also, if anybody in Kwik Kopy
Mm.
want to refer somebody, they can. But otherwise, they'll put it out for the ad, get the resumes, do the initial interviews,
Mm.
and from there, you do your own interview in
Mm.
the center, and
So
find the
from there, it
person.
is the power of a network, isn't it? A
Hundred
network of
percent.
that size.
Hundred
There's
percent.
probably a lot of experience to tap into Australia wide on that.
I can tell you, I mean, my previous business was a franchise hotel as well. There was none of this available.
Mm.
I had to do everything on my own. So this allows me to still focus on my customers, and at least initial part is helped by Quick Copy, big head office, big time. So you can still focus on your existing day-to-day business and whatever you have to do.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely
So
big
that's the
plus.
plan going forward.
Yeah, that is. It is.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, Kervin Merchant from Kwik Kopy in Blacktown, thank you so much for joining us today. Really enjoyed your story. It's a really diverse story, mate. You've come with a lot of different directions to it, so it was very inspiring to listen to. And thanks for joining us.
No,
Thanks for joining us today.
no. Thank you for your time, Glenn. Thanks for
Pleasure.
inviting me and allowing me to share my story. And very grateful and thankful.
Excellent. And thanks again for joining us on the Franchise Everything podcast. And we'll catch you again soon in the next one.